Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 7 Sharp. A little bit of a different feel this time because we are doing it in Mother Nature. I don't know if you like to say it as a Christian, but we're still going with it. Me and you know your boy Raja. I'm Blue, if you're not familiar with me. And it's been a while. I've not been on the airways for
2023.
a while. Yeah,
it's been mad.
2023, man.
Like reconstruction of the studio, man. We're getting there, man. People,
yeah, man. But we're coming back, and of course, we couldn't leave you guys hanging. But you know what? Today, we're going to talk as we do. And you know, when me and Roger are on the microphone, there's no script, there's no direction, which is also good because we do make people's jaws drop because the conversation just has to be as it is. And we always have to talk on a subject that's close to both of our hearts. And it's about men and manhood. Now, today, ladies, hopefully you'll learn something from this one because we're not firing shots at you.
True.
Directly.
Yeah.
But we are talking to us as men because I think since COVID in 2019, there's been a bit of an open reach where a lot more guys are kind of saying, you know what, I'm open to talk now. But I think having them kind of conversations and talking isn't natural for us as men. And I've said it in previous shows before, as guys, we're not encouraged to talk. We're encouraged to kind of be masculine, so be strong and show that through physicality, whether that's in the gym, whether that's through sports, whether that's through academic stuff, but we're never really encouraged to talk about our emotions, whereas I think from ladies from a young age have that kind of encouragement from a very young age, and they've already got the emotional part that comes naturally to them anyway.
Cool.
So it becomes easy for them.
Yeah.
As guys, it's not easy. Like when people say what you're feeling, if you said to some of your guys, you know what, I feel like I want to cry, you used to get boxed.
Yeah. And do you feel, sorry guys, you know, hi, my name's Roger. But anyway, but yeah, okay. Again, so guys, I'm excited about this conversation and it's not even going to be done today. We want to, please comment and please direct message one of us, you know what I mean?
Or both.
Both, whichever, you're both of us. And just say to you, listen guys, try from this angle. If you don't want to be in front of the camera, hit us your story and we can, you know what I mean? And we can respond to it, you know, and have that conversation because for me, guys, you know, over the past few months of just being in eco mode with Affinity Xtra, I've been absorbing what's going on out there. And, you know, you mentioned about, you know, men and the personas of men, but there's certain things which we've been pushed to do. Women been pushing, men talk, men talk to somebody. We don't want you committing suicide, but which women are doing that? Or is it the women that have got control of the situation? Who don't, you know, ultimately, you're talking from a woman who's out of the situation, woman in the situation. Does she want the person to talk? I'm not saying it's women that's causing the problem, but the woman that's closest proximity to a man who's potentially suicidal, they're the ones who need to be, eyes need to be opening and almost ushering the person there. There's so many dynamics to it.
You know what's funny?
But it's to their advantage that the man is suffering because they benefit from that.
Absolutely. You know what? I was watching something a while back.
Sorry for causing trouble with that one.
You've caused trouble now, you know, because it's opened up a memory. And I remember listening to something a while ago where they said, and I told ladies I wasn't coming for you on this one, but I'm going to have to, you know, sorry. But it said that for a lot of men, particularly when we're keeping more on to black men for this one particularly, a lot of trauma sometimes or difficulties have come from women. And the reason they came with that perspective was they're saying, so for young guys, from a young age, their mom, nurture them, love them, kind of giving them the right kind of feel as a mom. So they don't give them that kind of stuff that the dad would teach the son. So if a boy trips over, the mom wants to hug and nurture, and naturally as they would do, because that's their skill. But they don't teach, but then what they say is, don't bring no certain girls around me. So guys are kind of careful about what girls to bring, some of them. Okay? So as a result of that, the trust is there not to bring that certain girl around mum. So as a result of that, they mess around with certain girls who think you're too nice to bring around your mum, you're not committed to me, so I'm not committed to you. So then the relationship can sometimes come a bit topsy-turvy, okay? And then it has that mistrust, that issues there, and then they get into a relationship and then they keep saying to, as you said, as to the guy, talk, but then the woman ain't listening. Because what a lot of women do is protect themselves. So when the guy's like, okay, let me tell you about you, here's what I think you're doing. No, because you do this. Remember this in 1953? Remember when you did? So a lot of women will come up with the catalogue of what you did. So as the guy's then saying, well, hold on, you're asking me to talk, but you're not hearing what I'm giving. So now when I'm giving what you're asking for, you're giving me a lot of stuff back. So what you're now doing to me is saying, I'm not comfortable to say and share my emotions with you.
Yeah.
So as a result of that is, I won't talk. In fact, my silence is my answer. Because it's the only defense I have, because you can't fight back to silence.
But that's all I've seen around me though, men's silence. Because I always used to laugh at my grandpa, because his best response was
and that was another form of silence. Didn't want to give nothing back, or why give the argument. I remember hearing that with my grandparents, like, you know, if my granddad was to try and challenge my nan, my nan will come strong with, no, it's just, and then he'd be like, no, what I'm trying to say is, no, and he'd be like, all right, and he backed down. And I remember going to weddings, done, go inside, and I remember we used to go to weddings when we were younger, and you hear a lot of people saying, wife always knows best. If you want a good relationship, don't say nothing. So we've been encouraged from weddings to shut up. So I remember going to weddings before saying, listen, just don't argue with her and leave her. So then a lot of women will grow and say, you know what, I'm right, because you're not saying nothing back. So then we're not encouraged to talk. It wasn't until, and I'm going to give him a big shout out, someone like Kevin Thomas, who used to be like, no, you need to in tune and understand what your emotion's saying. You want to cry? That's cry. What are you crying about though? And understand that emotion with it. Like, what you're upset, you're allowed to be upset. You know, masculinity doesn't cover everything. So open up and talk. And I think it's not until we start in breaking down those kind of conversations that we understand. Like, a lot of men, we talk on our show, a lot more guys are confident or comfortable talking side by side than face to face, because apparently face to face when men talk, seem confrontational, whereas a lot of guys are happy to talk on the side. Didn't know that. Apparently I read that before. I don't know how true it is, but since I've heard that, I talk to a lot of guys and I'm comfortable talking like this, like, if he's talking right in front of me, I'm like, nah.
Come out my face, man. Get out of my face. It's done, you know, we're not doing that here. You know what I'm saying, you know? That's interesting. That's interesting. And I think, you know, guys, and I think what we want to do is get an understanding from men and women about, you know, the spaces that, as a man, you need to talk. And I think there is a dynamic we have to almost live the experience of being a black man, because I think that everybody's sick and tired of hearing our sub story. It's almost like a case of, oh, not them again. Again. You know, and I would say, especially the Afro-Caribbean men, you know, because I see something different with my African men, brothers. As much as they have the stigma of blackness and Africanness, I feel that identity, they don't have them issues that we have, because they know who they are. We don't. You know what I mean? You know, we just don't. And then when you come into the argument, you're not going, you're like, I am. And when you look back in the history, you look at it, who are you? Jamaican, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like, I just feel like we're a bit more weaker. But going back to like how we communicate, you know, it's a case of going, okay, we can't talk to our women, you know, forward speaking in a relationship, or even our sisters, even our mother. You know, because we're there to protect them, we're there to be strong. If we're not meant to be opening to our female counterparts. So when it comes to our males, and I've seen great TikTok reels out there going, man, my brother, just talk. Bro, I'll be honest with you, people, I've seen men just talk and their life just crashed the next day because of what they've said due to personal issues. Their business is out on the road, So who do you talk to, and how do you talk, and how do you work out who you're gonna talk to, bro? Because you always have to go on a journey before you start opening up, bro.
Absolutely.
It's not an overnight process, bro.
It's not, but I think we need to be clear about when people say like men don't talk, and I think for both men and women, like, you know, when I've heard some women say as well, and other people say men don't talk. Put a bunch of guys in the room that are into football, and say something, and try and shut them up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We do talk. You do talk.
Guys
we do
talk.
gossip as well.
Guys gossip, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm about to. I
was about to say something about what's his name again, Mbappe, and his relationship, but we might get kicked off there. But anyway, so guys talk, man. I think, but when what women are asking for, guys talk too much.
So that laugh is like, we do that offline. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Cool.
Schofield, Silver Fox, Large. Anyway, so but when they say guys don't talk, I think guys do talk. What guys ain't doing, we don't do, is we make ourselves vulnerable to have certain conversations.
Okay.
So, for instance, and again, it comes down to coaching, exactly like what you said. I remember I was talking to a bunch of friends who were mainly white, and they were talking about their sexual experiences and some of the stuff that they watch. Now, I know as a black guy, I have never encountered a conversation with black guys who would talk on those subjects. So they would talk about the girls who, in their experience, like when I was younger, be like, I was with her. But these guys were very explicit in what they're talking about. Now, guys are like, when I grew up, particularly black guys were like, nah, I ain't talking on that, bud. Like, you know what it is?
Bro.
It was cold talk. You been with that girl? Bro, you know what it is. All right, cool. But he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Whereas some other cultures would be like, I'd be sitting like, and her, and you're like, man, you're nasty.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes down to talking, it's different in cultures. Like you said, like some people from Africa, it's not all, but certain parts, they have history that can send it down. There's a lot more talk about fathers and that relationship. So I know growing up, I've seen a lot more guys from African background have a lot of homage and talk about their dad and what their granddad did. Whereas I feel like us as like Jamaicans and stuff like that, we kind of have that baby daddy. I've not really heard much baby daddy drama from African culture. It's been more from Caribbean culture. I'm more familiar with it. Not to say that people from Africa are well behaved. I know they're not. Don't start cussing on that one.
Well, it's out there. It's just that I feel that in our culture, I think we are allowed to when I say our culture, our expressions are only funneled in them areas. So you don't see dads like ourselves that are in their children's life. You don't see, we don't get profiled. What gets profiled is the guys that have 10, 20 children out there. And there's a lot of men who don't have loads of children out there from a Caribbean culture. It's just that we already been typecasted, or I don't know if that's the right word, or we've already been molded. You know, you go to certain algorithms on YouTube and there's already a picture about men. You know what I mean? So when you go and have communications with people, even if you go to see a professional counsellor, you almost feel a professional when it comes to mental health. You know, straight away you're scared because you know you've been profiled. With schizophrenia and all them different things like that. You know what I'm saying? And we're more likely, if it's 10 times more likely and 10 times, you know.
And it's funny, I remember watching a video on, I can't remember what social media outlet it was, and one thing the guy said was, he was a black guy. And he woke up, went to his wardrobe, and as he opened it, he said, which personality will people see me today? And he put on like a different coat, and each coat was a different environment. So he put on a coat and he went to like a doctor's surgery.
Cool.
And he's a big dude still, but people were looking at him like, is he going to cause problems? Then he was walking down the street, and some guys were doing drugs, and they responded to him. And then there was another one where he went to different environments, and different people reacted different in different situations. And he was saying, the problem is, it's not just, no one sees me as I see me. When I go in my environment as a black guy, everyone sees me how they see me from the world perspective. So what he was saying was, when he went to the doctors, he was expected to be this intimidating, scary, over giant. But then when the video went back to him going back home, he was this placid man playing with his kids, loving cats, everything against the stereotype. Where you're thinking, I could have him then. Is that how weak he is?
Man.
But in the exterior, he meant to look strong. And I think that sometimes as black guys is, well, how does everyone see us? You know what I mean? Like, particularly young boys nowadays, if they go out and put on a bag around their waist, they're part of a gang. You know what I mean? So the typecasting, if I go out now and with I remember a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but we went to go and see a friend of ours who lived in Solihull, which is predominantly known as a white area. And a friend who we went to go and see is a white gentleman. And we used to walk from his house to the bar just to go and like have a social drink. And he even recognized it and said, neighbours would come out of his house and talk to him when we were walking with him. And we were like, what do you mean? He said, basically they were checking if he was all right because they thought we were trying to kidnap him. And we were like, are you serious? And he laughed and he said, I have never seen that until you and my friend, and he's much taller than me, have come round here and people are actually looking out their window watching. And even the next day they come and approach him like, oh, you're all right.
Wow.
He'd be like, yeah, but he couldn't understand why.
That's crazy.
For us, we laughed and was like, it's to be expected. But for him, he was like, I've never experienced it as a white guy. I've never experienced that. Now, it opened up the conversations where we could talk and say, you know what, let me tell you a bit more about our background in terms of how the world sees us. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not going to diss church, but even at church, you know what I mean? Like, there's expectations to, you know, where's all the good men gone? When you've got brothers in church who've been single for all their life, waiting for a good wife, and people are like, where's all the good men gone? And they're talking, they're sharing, they're showing their emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I think, you know, that's some things that we're missing.
It's like a continual chipping away. And it's like, you know, and it's not just one blow. It's like you're already, and again, like, I think that we want to kind of like look at, okay, guys, you know, just say how you feel, like how we're talking about now. But when you've been continually chipped away, before you even get to you're already that tall, you know what I mean? And then, you know, guys, you know, even to the fact that another major problem, which we don't talk about, is that the earning potential of ourselves is not like our counterparts, but yet the females are flying up. Yeah. And coping the dynamic of now them being the better, they're earning more. And the thing is, when you get approached about that, you already feel that small, yeah? And then when you get told that by others or the missus itself or the partner, whichever situation you're in, it's absolutely devastating. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, things like that is like, you know, where do I go to somebody not to ridicule me? Because you go to, you know, grandpa's generation, go look for a job, go do this. But yeah, I have applied and I'm not getting nothing back. Listen, I work good.
When I was young,
you can get a job, no problem. Job find you. You know what I mean? You're going, yo, just go, let's go there and get the job. I says, no, it's not just about, it's a bit more deeper than that, you know? And like, so where do I go to? Not so much get encouragement to say, you keep on going, son, just do a try, but just real safe space to talk. Because if that's bottled up, that comes out in abuse.
Come out,
You ever saying, oh, it comes out in suicide? It's one way or the other. It's external or internal.
Yeah. And I think you said it something perfect as well, is where do I go? And I think that's the main topic right there.
Okay.
Where do you go and who do you talk to? And I think for me, my experiences, for me anyway, is
where you go?
Where do you go? I think first of all, you have to learn how to understand and how to communicate. And I think when I say communicate effectively, I know that I was one of them people where if certain conversations come up, particularly in a relationship, I can't articulate myself properly. So you're like, whatever's very dismissive of, you know what, I don't want to talk about it because I don't know what words to put there, because I don't know if I'm comfortable or safe enough to truly express how I feel. Now, something that me and my wife had to do to learn how to like talk was, I had to have a conversation, which was very hard for her, was talking and say, I'm going to express how I feel. I needed to listen. Don't fix it, don't intervene, don't get involved, do not protect yourself. Let me express how I feel. And then when I'm finished, you can have your moment if you want to respond, but is it necessary? And it wasn't an opportunity for me to be like, go, you're this, you're that, you don't do this, you don't do that. It was an opportunity to say, listen, you need to hear where my heart's at, like, for myself. But before I got to that point, I had to write things down, and I think people forget the importance of a paper and pen. Sometimes you have to write down your emotion, man, and be like, yo, how do I feel, and how does that make me feel? Because I think day-to-day life, we just get on with it and accept things for what it is. Where, you know, I remember a friend of mine years ago came to me and said, you ever been cheated on? I was like, yeah, I don't talk about it much, but yeah, years before me and my missus, how'd that make you feel? Yeah, I felt like I wanted to go and box up the man still and blah, blah, blah. But why? Because it made me look stupid. So it's pride. Nah, I don't. And it was very much of a conversation.
Wow.
Now you're trying to make me look stupid. And he was like, no, but the very fact you want to go and beat up a man for another person's decisions, why don't you challenge the girl? And I was like, wow. It's like, and there's your problem right there, man. You didn't challenge the girl because you didn't know how to speak to women on your emotions of, you know, you done me really wrong. And for me, it was a learning curve of, all right, cool, so then how much have I got this wrong? And I think a good book that I learned was Women from Mars, Men from Mars, Women from Venus, or whatever it is. What's his name again now? It will come back to me. But it's a decent book because it kind of helped out highlighting the difference between men and women, but ideally, it helps men to kind of path their own understanding of their emotions and how you communicate more effectively.
Okay. That's a lot packed up in that, man.
Deep.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's because, you know, okay, so, all right, so I'm just a dude now. Now, I use my sports to let out steam, and I do gym to let out steam. To God, you know, get the focus on and get the groove on. And so there's a lot of release there, but I still need spaces to have conversations, we call it counsellors now.
Yeah.
We used to call them shrinks. Yeah. Is it counsellors we call them now? Okay.
Still like counsellors.
Yeah, call them shrinks. Is it counsellors? Yeah.
Counsellors, shrinks is more of an American thing, isn't it?
Okay, cool. Well, shrinks just make it sound like you're sick, innit?
Shrinks makes it sound like you're crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. So, but you know, we that profession is rising right now because the need of it. So, you know, but the problem is it costs money.
It does.
Yo, and it's easiest talking about who do we talk to, you know, and it is something where I feel that have we not embraced by putting maybe some of our professionals in the churches need to come together and do what they call it, pro bonos, they don't do no. I'd appeal because a lot of Christians do this work. And have we got a network internally to support people that can't afford that professional mental support, or would that make the church look weak? Not dealing with people's issues on the altar, and then they don't go afterwards. Okay, I know you don't feel better after the prayer. Let's go and see the show. Who would do?
You know what? And I mean, I'm
antagonizing.
Yeah, you know what? Putting them lugs in. You know what? You're right. Yeah. And I think usually,
because the Holy Spirit should just lift it off, innit?
You know what? I've got two approaches.
So wicked, you know.
You know what? Because with church, I think sometimes I do think I got two thinking now. I got to be careful what I say.
Okay.
I feel the church isn't equipped for it, but they can be. And the reason I say they're not equipped for it is because I feel a lot of emphasis is, I've worked with a lot of churches, I've seen a lot of churches kind of sort themselves. And I think for me, and this is going to sound like a slap in the face, but it's true, a lot of church work goes onto the performance of a Sunday. Sorry if you think that's disrespectful.
Bro,
it is what it is.
Bro.
I think, like, you know, we put a lot of work into Thursdays. We're practicing the praise and worship teams for how good it's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the pastor's working hard in terms of, you know, that message. And everyone knows the church for that message and that music. But do they know you for the other smaller things you do, like getting funding for free counselling sessions, for the food bank stuff, for inviting small people to your house for food? And I'm not dissing church because there's so much more we can do. And as a Christian, you know, we can do so much. And I think after like 2020 with the COVID, a lot of counselling became free because the world became like a prison. You know, good people were stuck in their house for days. Bro, we were locked up, incarcerated.
Bro, when I was, you don't realise, I remember being, because unfortunately, it sounds weird, I was still working in that period, so I was able to get out of the house. But there was a period where I weren't working, bro. And I had to stay isolated in the house for a week. Bro.
It's horrible.
Bro, I've never felt so stink in my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as it's nightmare.
Yeah,
nightmare.
I've worked in prisons before, but I've never experienced being in prison. And I think when the government said you can't come out of your house, or if you go to the shop and come back, but you shouldn't be walking the street. And people made their own rumours like, if you walk the streets, you're going to get arrested.
You already had things dropping in the air, they're going to put something in the air, all this business.
You're thinking to yourself, man, I can't come out of my house. And I came defiant, like, too late now, COVID's over. I came out of my house. I went to go and visit family and friends at doorsteps. Yeah, man, call him, he found it, he had party as well. But you know what, I was very much like, I refused to be in car. I didn't hear about the dangers of COVID. I heard, you're not allowed to come out of your box.
Cool.
And so for me, I was like, the first thing that came to my head was, I'm locked up, solitude, I'm I'm cut away. I've got no access.
Yeah.
Who do I talk? I can't talk to my friends. I can't see my family. Mentally already, and that was the first conversation. I was already like, this is a problem, and that was day one. You know what I mean? So you can imagine those who live by themselves who completely kept to the COVID rules, where they were like, all right, this is really difficult. Now, during COVID, we had to sit down and hide from our families, but also we had to sit down and watch George Floyd getting killed. So now as a black person, the subject of black people and did he deserve it, black issues, you had people coming together at Black Lives Matters. You're like, okay, well, so I'm locked up, and now people are fighting for my race as a black person to be seen as equal. That again, that's mentally, that's very challenging. So I remember doing a podcast show on COVID, talking to some guys about how they felt, and a lot of them said, you know what, I just felt sick and sad and upset because, again, we're seeing it yet again. Now, that was amazing for us to talk, because if we didn't do that, he was talking about it, he was giving us an opportunity to put our emotions and our feelings out there, and more people did. I know you were smashing it during COVID for opportunities for people to talk.
Yeah.
But again, if you're not part of our people's friends, like that, then there's loads of people out there who don't get the chance to talk. Their outlet is saying stupid things on social media, or watching other people hopefully voice how they feel, and never actually getting out, because it's like, that's not exactly how I feel. Similar, but not exactly the same. And I think the only encouragement I can give to a lot of people is get out, find friends who you can be, what I like to say, not actually naked with, but exposed with. So I've got friends who I can talk to and say, listen, I'm gonna talk some stuff about myself, and I need to hear me, you need to counsel me through it. Not everyone has that. And I think that's the danger for a lot of people, why they go to suicide, because like you said, eventually that locked in frustration has to come out, and sometimes people think, I'm better if I'm not here, which is scary.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, yo, it's got me thinking, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's real at my But now, I think that, 100%, and I think that this is a very complex subject, and I think that mental health, we can look from the practitioner perspective. I think the biggest problem, I'm doing a few projects at the moment, and the biggest problem with practitioners, they don't understand why they can't get to us as black men. They are struggling to get through to us. And the one thing everyone thinks of, they call these brain, and me, be honest, especially, don't be even harsh on black women, you guys call these amazing projects, you know what I mean, black, white, whoever, comes these amazing projects in the community, and you come up with them, and you never ask a black man, what do they want? And then when we say it, you don't listen to what we say, you still carry on with what you think is good. So the problem is, our voice is invalid. The facts of the matter is, it's out there invalid. Nobody listens to it. Nobody actually listens to us. If my voice was valid, UK gospel, black UK artists will be invested into. My voice is not valid. It's great voice. I talk to you guys know I talk plainly about my feelings about the lack of investment that we're having in our music. Let me give an illustration here to devalue us as a people. Everybody says no, dash away your blackness. Blackness don't mean nothing to us in the church circles. So you would have seen, and I would have seen in the late 90s and early 2000s, amazingly, almost very polished artists writing their own songs in our circles, doing worship and songs. That was a time for British Christian labels to invest into British black people. But what happened? They invested into white Australian people instead of us at that period, and they threw everything at it. Let's not go through what's going on right now with Hillsong. It's not because of that, it's nothing to do with that. But in the day, they went with what looked like them. And they listened to their voice over our voice. So that's done by my own people who says that they don't see colour. But they saw it then. And they never invest into us. But yet their kids are listening to Jay-Z.
Absolutely.
And they're cranking. Listen, I walk down, you know these streets here, bro. Tell me if they're listening to pop. They're not listening to no pop rock, bro. Man, listen to hardcore drill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some drill. They're playing our music.
Yeah.
It's jokes.
Yeah.
You know, our music is number one.
Yeah.
But yet,
Always.
we've been told in our so-called don't see colour space that it's clear that we're not English. Just putting it out there. So you just come into the corner and you're continually chipped away on.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying for women to go, oh, never mind to your partners or to your sons and stuff. But just be real about the environment. And it's not. And I'm sick and tired of don't show me no success story, because I can show you 50 unsuccessful stories.
There's just as much as unsuccessful than
So stop, guys. You know, and I think we need to stop saying, oh, but look at me. But look at the ends.
Yeah.
Look at the ends right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at you. You're the one who got out.
Totally true. I hear ya.
It's easy to say, you know what I mean? And you know who always tends to get out? It's us Christian church boys. We're the ones that trend-wise. Yeah. We trendily get out. But we're trendily never put back in.
Yeah. But we want people to see what we do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's why our voice is invalid, and that's why our Sunday schools are empty now, because we've lost that connection to our community.
And it's scary that is the case. I mean, like, for me, as a father of two boys, and you've got two young men as well, man. And I think for me, I'm always consciously trying to direct my children to be better. And I think that's something that we need more in our communities as well, particularly, we lost that spirit of community, I think, where I remember a parent was talking to me a while ago and said, what was different about your generation to this generation now? And I was like, I knew that I had a house I could go to that wasn't just my own home. So when I was younger, I could go to my friend's house, my friend's house, his mums and family was there, and I felt a part of it. I could go to my friend's nan's house, and part of it, there was dinner there.
Oh, they always got a skipper's yard, man. Yeah.
There was always family we can go to.
I'm going to Richard's house there.
Yeah.
Some salad cream and rice and peas. You know what there?
Salad cream,
on your rice and peas.
That's the devil's sprinkle, salad cream. That wasn't made for black people.
Heinz,
salad cream it's made out of turtle's gums, man. But I think, we had more community then, we could go places. Yeah. Nowadays, kids they can't go to their friend's parents' house because they can't trust them. Yeah. They're no manners, no behaviour, they're on the street terrorising places, and no one's taking responsible for them children. So if I was ramping on the street when I was younger, someone's mum would see me, or dad would see me, and pull me up, man.
Pull you up,
and then tell my mum, and I'll get dealt with. And there was not really no mobile phones too tough then. Or not great tech services, you know what I mean? Like, remember when you have to send so many characters per 10 pence? So you have to be very smart with your message, he was being fast, I dealt with him. All right, cool, I'll deal with him when we get home. Whereas now, you got unlimited text messaging, we're still not using it because we want to be on social media. But I think there was less of a community presence dealing with the children. So now your kids are running rampant, kids are killing each other.
And you can't catch on.
And then the dramas, and the problem is, they're just gonna have worse and worse mental health issues because it's a case of feeling safe. Can I open up and talk about my feelings and emotion? So all we're doing is kind of continuing this downward spiral of men becoming less and less and more physical in terms of our behavior, like the rise in COVID of domestic violence, of suicide, of guys taking steroids.
Crime with youngsters as well is linked to, unfortunately, I was speaking to somebody who, a few months after I spoke to him, he killed somebody, and a young person, he was just turning 18. He killed somebody just after he's 18. I was talking to him when he's 17, and I was trying to reach out to him, and his mindset was like he was a suicide bomber. He just didn't care. He just didn't care about his life. He just said, "So go." You know what I mean? It was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna have women, drugs, and just do my thing. And that's the state of not 28, 35-year-old men. State of 16, 15, 14-year-old men. You know what I mean? And the problem is, we're not talking about things and we're not putting it out there. And I think that it's time now that, as black men, we need to take the ones who've done all right. We need to take our time, bro. We need to invest back in.
Massively.
You see, we need to be father the fatherless, bro. Like,
yeah.
bro, and it can't be the one. It can't be the Roger or the Blue in church. Yeah, they got the ends.
Yeah.
While 50 men are sit down there and making big P. Yeah, bro, I'm sick I'm sick and tired of it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and the joke is, it's okay. Say if you haven't got the skill set, but you can put things on the table to enable the likes of ourselves to reach the people, to set up. So listen, I got a piece of land. I'm gonna speak to my friend who's a builder. I'm gonna invest into a school so we can deal with youngsters out there. But what you thinking, Roger? No one ain't got that money. Yo, people have got that money. You'll be shocked. You know what I mean? We put together and we got that money and said, listen, run that school, stay, do what you do. You know what I mean? Them are the moves we've got to be doing. Radical moves.
Absolutely. And I remember someone saying to me before, small minds achieve small outcomes, where bigger minds and community minds create success. And I think that's always stuck with me in terms of, if you think small, you'll achieve small.
Yeah.
So if you always go around telling yourself, I can't, and again, the example I gave earlier about my children, I'll give again. When my kids tell me I can't do it, I've seen some parents like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it. I'm like, nah, figure it out then. Figure that out. And now some people look at me like, that's slack. No, you know why? Because I know it's in their capability to do it. They can achieve it. But if we keep taking things off them and saying, I'll do it, then when do they get to learn? And that has to start from a young age. And it's the same for us in our communities. For us guys, like, you know, when you're asking someone how you doing, don't just do that whole, you're all right, yeah, you're all right, cool, just for passing sake. If you don't care how they're feeling, don't ask the question. Hi, and move on. But you good? Yeah, I'm good. Nah, seriously though, are you good, bro? Yeah. Sometimes you have to ask a couple of times because some people are like, we're so used to saying yes that it takes a while for like, actually, you know what? If you're asking, then that means you've got some time for me. Yeah, man. Well, go on. Cool. Open up. Let's talk. And I think amazing things come from that opportunity of talking. Amazing things come more from listening, and I don't think we listen enough. I think we're too quick to give answers. We're too quick to get involved. We're not quick enough just to say, you know what? Next week Sunday or Saturday, meet me down. I don't know. Harvester. Let's go for breakfast. Tell me how you feeling.
Yeah, man. You don't. When I was younger, there was a couple men that would just want to, as a young man, just pull you aside and check in with you. You know, do we do that? Do you see that? Bro, we're not doing that.
We don't get it.
And the thing is, and even, you know, well, we got a lot of work to do, bro.
Man.
And I think we can. What we want to do, guys, man. I just want to use this platform, bro, to really, if you might not talk to direct to us, but at least hear our frustrations. We're in the same boat as people, you know. And you can see it's in front of the camera, but or in jobs or trying to do blessing people, investing into people, but we still identify and see issues, and we're not gonna let people know, let them find out for themselves. We're saying what we see, how we feel, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know we can expand on certain things. I know I don't want to run over time, but there's things like you said, you highlighted today, bro. Like just the fact that basically, how do you respond to your partner, your wife cheating? Now, the thing is, women have got it prescripted. They've got it on TV, the list of stuff they can do, whatever. We haven't got no prescription to, you know, the only thing we have is we go find the guy and shoot him.
Deal with the case. That's pride though.
But no, that's what TV does. You know what I'm saying? But women is like, chuck his things out the window. Or blind. You know what I'm saying? Or I know.
Bust the windows in your car.
I know, but I talk to the gardener. You know what I'm saying? You know, so there's multiple routes, but our route is to deal with the guy. But the problem is, if you don't deal with the person, who are you dealing with?
And you know what? I feel like the reason we're encouraged to deal with the person from a physical aspect is because it comes back down to that masculinity thing, innit? Yo, you're gonna look weak if you don't deal with them. Deal with it. And it's like, but what if I want to look weak?
Wow.
Because I'm weak at this moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing, and I think sometimes there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, man. You do something.
You've done something mad. Like, you know what? We have to accept that we're human.
You go too far.
Yeah. There's moments where we're weak, man.
When you're enjoying it, like, and you go, ooh, this is good. This is good. Where's the knife?
Bust him up, yeah. Take a man, nah. But I think we have to accept where we're at, man.
And the man probably didn't even know you was there, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even know you was married. Yeah, took the ring off. You know, I don't want that.
It's her fault.
Yeah. Wow.
But you know, I mean, and again, I'm not going to diss women today because it's Friday. Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, we're here quick, innit?
But bank holidays.
Yeah,
But I think, yeah, there's a lot of things. Listen, we want conversation, men. Like, yo, hit us up, man. And it's gonna be not just me. I'll be on the other side of the camera. We're gonna want to invite some men, even women. When we come on, talk to Blue, man. You know what I mean? And we'll get a coach and we have this conversation, because I think the real talk element in our communities is gonna help us. Help the people like the NHS, because so many people prescribe how to get to us, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're in the same place we were 20 years ago, bro. And the key is us.
Yeah.
The key is us, man. You know, invest in us, and we'll invest back into the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Empower us.
Yeah, and you know what? And these things are needed, because I think there's too much noise out there. I mean, I don't really listen to too much music nowadays, because as much as music is nice, I enjoy these kind of listening to these kind of podcasts and these conversations, because these are real things. Like, these ain't just our conversation, our words. These come from conversations that we have with other men,
lived experience,
and other people, where you think, you know, that's someone's experience. Let me mention that. Then actually, that's someone's life. Let me mention that, and we're all relatable from where we come from.
Yeah,
I think sometimes you hear stuff where you want to feel good. I think we snack on feel good stuff.
Yeah.
So we listen to someone's life who was in the gutter, now they're successful, got 2 Teslas and a mansion. I want that life. It's not yours. It's not going to happen. It might not happen. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with working towards it, but then you have to work with reality. How do you better yourself? I remember someone said to me before that the reason they wouldn't be a millionaire just yet is because they don't know to understand a pound. And I said, what does that mean? He said, until I understand a pound and £100, then I can understand a million. And actually, I realised that the bigger the money, the less I need the money. It's about self-worth and dependent. And I think what he's trying to say to you is, how much do you understand yourself? And we don't. We're not taking the time to understand ourselves. We're not taking the time to listen to ourselves. Even our health, which is another conversation. But you know you're not well, you're close to diabetes, and you're still drinking and eating bad food, and then you're vexed and you want to pray it out your system. Come on, man.
Bro.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, man. No, for real, bro. For real. Health and everything, you know. Health is wealth, man. Man, health is wealth, my bro. But yeah, man, you close off, bro, because it's not my thing still. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Sorry. I just realised the time, guys. I was enjoying the weather, but guys, thank you for listening on our new style. I hope you enjoyed our new studio. It's green screen.
It's free, you know.
It is, isn't it? You might, a few times I was doing some kind of like, there's a bee coming towards us and I might have to do a matrix load. I'm going to try and take out my neck.
Bees?
They're not trying to sting me. I like the honey though. Yeah, but there's no spiders as well. That's what I'm glad about, because if a spider was to drop on us during the show, this show would be
that's a weak man, you know, bro. I'm gonna pick up the spider there, bro.
I don't mind being
you know, bro.
Me and my granddad are a different generation of men, so he can take them spiders. I can run quicker than he could. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. It's been a blessing watching you. I'm Blue. This is Raja. Take care and peace.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.